Hey, this is Stephen Platinum, your friend in wrestling, with Platinum versus NXT. This is from March 3rd, 2021. I can't believe I'm getting to this, but I like to knock these things out. How was this NXT show? It was very good. Of course, it's just going to get absolutely buried by Dynamite tonight. And if the rumors are true, and NXT is going to move to Tuesday nights, it is the right move. It's the best thing for Dynamite. It's the best thing for NXT. They're both very good shows and deserve a chance to not have their audience cut by hundreds of thousands. Oh, sorry. Ooh. We're coming from the Performance Center. General notes, they seem to be throwing some kind of big stuff and making it happen, especially in the tag team realm. We open with a non-title opener of the NXT Tag Champs against Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher. How's the match? It's freaking good, and they're taking Dynamite's cue of opening with a great match to really set things off. They get the "This is awesome" chant and all this kind of stuff. But the NXT Tag Champs hit their double team on Thatcher for the pin. Imperium's, Marcel and Fabian and I believe Alexander Wolf are there looking from the stage. Cool stuff there, possibly being set up. Roderick Strong is walking backstage, back to commercial. Oh, why are we going to this terrible trope of walking backstage? But at least Roderick Strong, to bridge the gap, is in the ring with the microphone. He throws down his Undisputed Era chain and tells Adam Cole to get his ass out there. Finn Balor comes out instead. Finn Balor asks Strong when is he going to learn that Cole isn't coming out there for him. So they talk about the NXT title, and then he offers him Balor's trying to tell him you got to develop a killer instinct, and Strong attacks Balor and drops him. Officials break it up, and we've set up our main event for tonight. Again, though, they're falling into this, using half the show to promote the other half of the show, slipping into some bad habits. We got a therapy session with The Way. I guess it's funny enough. I get that they're trying different things. I think they're forgetting that ultimately the point of this stuff is that people are going to want to watch you wrestle. Instead, they're just doing low-grade entertaining stuff. Eesh. Back from the break, Cameron Grimes is with the stack of money. William Regal approaches, but Grimes is too busy counting his money. Tells him to stand up. He says Grimes hit a crew member last week, and he's got a potential lawsuit on his hands. Grimes offers to buy the guy off. Regal's going to handle it. Grimes says everybody has a price, which makes me laugh. Regal doesn't know what that means. Grimes versus Bronson Reed for tonight. Grimes isn't happy. He yells about Ted DiBiase Sr. once again. Ugh. Vic confirms that Adam Cole versus Finn Balor is going to be next week. And he confirms that Balor versus Roderick Strong is tonight's non-title main event. A lot of non-title matches, man. Aliyah versus Ember Moon. It's good enough. Ember Moon wins with the Eclipse. Shotzi stands tall in the ring with Moon as the Robert Stone brand recovers. They show some replays. Mackenzie approaches Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa backstage, asking what happened, what was the deal with Imperium. Thatcher says we all come from somewhere and we all have a past. Ciampa interrupts and says Thatcher's past with Imperium is exactly that, just the past, right? Ciampa ends the interview and they head into the locker room. Intrigue. See the two teams warming up for the WWE Women's Tag Title match. Unfortunately, I put in my notes here, there's no way the NXT team is going to win, and they don't. Just spoiler alert. That's a problem, too, that NXT has. They set up this kind of big stuff, but they continually remind us that NXT is B and C brand. We're going to have next week's title match between Toni Storm and Io Shirai. That's exciting. And we've got our women's tag match between Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez and Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. It's a weird finish where Shayna Baszler grabs her in the choke. But the wrong person is choked out. They weren't legal, but Adam Pearce and Bennett hits the ring, who's a referee. He calls the match, not realizing that Kai was no longer legal. It's bad. Jackson Gonzalez are checked on. The boos get louder. Baszler takes the titles at ringside. And that's that. We go back to the Ways therapy session. They're talking about Dexter Lumis some more. Theory doesn't get to speak. The segment cuts away. That's the running joke. LA Knight is walking backstage. God, that's a really terrible name, but it is what it is. Imperium is seen in the background talking to Killian Dane. Okay. Back from the break, and Isaiah Swerve Scott is in a recording studio, letting Brianna Brandy hear some of his work. She walks off, and he turns to the camera, cuts a promo on Leon Ruff. Go back to the ring, and here comes LA Knight. LA takes the mic, cuts a good promo, and he ends with his catchphrase, "This is his game, and that's not an insult, it's just a fact of life." Bronson Reed versus Cameron Grimes. This match happens. So Spanish flies and a typical Grimes kind of match, actually. So Knight decks Reed when he's on the top preparing for the big splash, and Grimes takes advantage of that cheap shot, hits his move, and gets the pin. So apparently Grimes and LA Knight are in this together. And we see Adam Pearce and William Regal backstage arguing. They talk about Casey Catanzano's injury. It's sort of an interesting way they approach it. Got Zia Lee stuff happening as well. We take a look at Zia Lee's dominance lately. We got a video package looking at how Karrion Kross defeated the Cruiserweight champion in the non-title no DQ match. They're doing a lot of these non-title matches, man. So we're back in the Ways therapy session and Austin Theory's is there by himself. Eventually, it turns out the whole thing was a ruse, and Gargano pays the doctor for playing the part and helping him turn Theory back against Lumis. And then Gargano's going to take Theory to Chuck E. Cheese, and the doc says they're a bunch of idiots. Yikes. Everrise against Breezango. What can I say? It's a no contest because a bunch of people get involved. It's fucking terrible. The show's kind of rapidly going downhill. NXT does get in this habit of trying to save everything with the main event. And usually the second hour is much worse than the first. And that is definitely holding firm. Got Zia Lee and Caden Carter for next week. So now we're beginning to set stuff up, which is nice. We got Toni Storm against Shirai. We got Cole versus Finn Balor. And we get a video package about that. NXT is walking backstage. NXT champs walking backstage, and we go to commercial. Fuck, why are they going to this trope again? It's so bad. Mackenzie stops William Regal, asks what happened with the WWE Women's Tag Title match earlier. He's going to have an announcement next week, which will change the landscape of NXT. Is that they're moving? I would guess it is. Finn Balor versus Roderick Strong. Really, really good here. Finn Balor wins. And that's that. Adam Cole appears on the stage and he stares Balor down. Balor points back at Cole. Cole points at himself. And that's the show. So if you're into NXT, this was a great show. If you're a first-time viewer, there wasn't a lot to sink your teeth into. And that's been the problem with NXT for quite some time. Hopefully they can address that. Hopefully the move helps them out a little bit. This has been Stephen Platinum, your friend in wrestling.